let's just talk about the new car cycle. If you come right out of college and you get that new car and you know how expensive they are, more and more expensive all the time, and you trade let's say you trade every 5 years or something, and you have that thing financed for 7 years, you know what happens. You keep trading. You're upside down when you trade. They're so nice and they're so gracious to add that additional principal you owe on the new loan. Over the course of your career, Craig, I could make a case for $150,000 difference in real money versus if you got in that new car cycle and stayed in that new car cycle versus just buying a reasonable used car, that gets you from A to B.
But doesn't everybody have to have a car payment?
That's a real.
That was the mentality.
Craig knows. Craig will verify this. A lot of people, when it comes to debt, they don't know. They will even ask, well, is a car payment considered debt? They consider it like a mortgage sometimes, and it's the absolute worst asset that anybody can spend money on. So, and what's the argument? Well, I need a reliable car.
Right.
Sure. Well, I'm going to take, this is my favorite, I'm going to take a trip, and we just might as well buy a car now. So we'll have it if we need it. Quick story. When we take big trips, and we just got back from one, me and my 2 sons took a baseball trip up in New England, visited 4 parks and in the 7 days.
I wasn't invited.
It was a
trip.
That was our 13-year-old wouldn't let her go. I wanted to let her go, but
no,
anyway.
Brenda, I'm sure you enjoyed some time and
I did.
It's like, that sounds like a vacation to me.
So yeah, don't let her kid you. It wasn't all that bad, all that peace and quiet. So Greg, we took that trip, and I rented a brand new 2018 Nissan Maxima, which is a full size car from Enterprise, for like $267 for the week, and drove it 2,500 miles, and even wrecked it. It wasn't my fault, but somebody rear-ended us in Indianapolis. Guess what? We just dump it back at Enterprise, go on about our business with no debt.
Right.
If you use that opportunity to say, well, we really need a new car, we need something for this trip, which is reliable, which is a valid argument, then you buy a new car. $267 hadn't even made the hadn't even made the first month's payment on it. So when you get financially free or stable, rent something. Rent a nice car. If you want luxury, rent a luxury car, because you've got a pocket full of money that you've saved from not having that new car payment. So for teachers, when you talk about limited income, fixed income and limited advancement, boy, it's just so critical that you don't get caught up in that new car cycle. And because, again, that is easily $150,000 over the course of your teaching career. So what could you do with an extra $150,000 when you got ready to retire?